Hey, how's it, guys? Hope everybody is doing good. And welcome back again to another commentary video for GT Sport SA Season 3 races. This is race number 5 in Pool 5 for Season 3. And yeah, man, I made it through to Pool 5. Yeah. If you watched my previous videos, I was pretty much in Pool 6 for about 4 races. I didn't think I was going to move it out. I was quite happy finishing mid-table top 10 in Pool 6, but I did end up having a good race 4, which I will post at some time again. But I just thought I'll get out race number 5 because it was so exciting, and I am in a new pool, and I thought I'll just take a little bit of time to go through these videos. So similar to the last time out, I know you guys want to get to the race, but the last time out I also made a bit of a video on a bit of an introduction to each of the guys that is in the race. As you guys know, I'm pretty new to GT Sport SA, and I wanted to use these videos as a reference for me to be able to go back to it in time, down memory lane 5-6 years from now, who knows, and just take a look at how much I knew about the guys this far back in the race, you know, till whenever I watch these videos again. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna take about maybe 5 minutes just to go over the guys in the team, in the pool, because it's a new pool, and you know, just look at what these guys are about and just my initial thoughts on it and how totally wrong I am now compared to what it might be in the future. Okay, so the first guy up is Trosk. Trosk, when I joined GT Sport SA, Trosk was actually one of the guys that was in the endurance races that I did. I didn't have to be part of a season. All I could do is just jump in and do the endurance race, and Trosk was over there. Now, if I recall that race, Trosk finished about 4th in that race. I finished about 3rd last. And there was another guy in that race called Monza Boy, who I felt had an excellent race that finished, I think, about 5th there. So looking at Trosk, I always thought like this guy was going to be a deadly driver. I did a little bit of hunting on Trosk, and last season in season 2, Trosk actually finished at 38th position, which is bloody amazing. Just to go take a back step, Monza Boy, who I was competing at the time, finished 90th position in season 2. So Trosk being 38th really shows that this guy is indeed quite a diver. So that is your man Trosk over there. So we'll see how he does in the race, but also as you know, very strong diver. Today he's racing with the rough, was it the rough here, CTR. So let's see how the CTR boys do. Moving up from Trosk, you've got Sandshark. Now Sandshark, as you know, very active in the chat box section. Everybody knows Sandshark. If you don't know him, I didn't even be along. I bloody know Sandshark. I know he lives in Saudi Arabia, etc, etc. So if you don't know Sandshark, then I don't know where you've been. But Sandshark also decided to race with the CTR, the rough. It was a N600 or N700, I could be wrong, car, but he's decided to tune it down. Oh, I forgot to give you some background on the race as well. I mean, this was actually this race 5 was actually a N500 race that allowed you to do tuning on the cars with pop enabled. But yeah, I mean, just the tuning that we had to do was it really took a bit of a hold out of the players, the divers. So we'll talk a bit more about that as the race goes on. But Sandshark, nevertheless, also another strong driver. Last season he finished 60th against using reference Monza Boy's 90 position reference point, 30 points, 30 positions above that. So also again a very strong diver. I know Sandshark talked about using a steering wheel in one of his races, and I think that may have gave him some problems later on in other races. I'm not sure right now if he's still using those steering wheels, or if he's got a new one, or if he's using control. I'm not sure, but we'll take a look at how Sandshark progresses in this race. So that's cool there. The next one up, we've got Mo Ray Razak. We're looking at, yeah, he's rocking the GT3 911. I think this is the 2009 model, and I think everybody, majority of the guys across all pools were rocking this car. It just seemed like the one that was the obvious pick. It had the pace. It's got that. For me, I struggled a bit with it initially before tuning, you know, with the turning, and cornering for it. I had to do quite a bit of research to get the tuning right, and I think once you get it right, you find that it's probably the best balanced car amongst the rest of it. Some would say us wrong, but nevertheless, regarding Maurey Razak, he also finished 45th last season in season 2. So also another strong racer. I think he initially started in pool 7 or could even pull as far as pool 8 in season 3, and he just subsequently went up from pool 8 to pool 7 to pool 6 to pool 5. So yeah, he probably didn't have a stronger seeding time, but of course a very strong racer to be in pool 5 and just hop through the pools like there was nothing to it. So we'll take a look at more and how Moray Razak does. Looking now at actually that was actually DC Gaming I was looking at. Okay, so I'm at Moray Razak. I don't think I'll talk about Mo. Let's talk a bit about DC. Now DC Gaming, he finished 77th last season, also a strong finish compared to the Monzas. So yeah, another racer that I was kind of looking out for. He is also similar to Sandshark, very active in the chats. So yeah, I was also going to be a bit concerned about how his driving was. Always active in the chat, so I was also a bit intimidated against racing up against him. You know, if you do find yourself talking in the chats, generally you are quite a strong driver. So we'll see how DC does in the race. But again, also a strong indicator, finishing 77th last season. We knew that DC's got that pace behind him. Taking a look at Eric. Now Eric, I couldn't see anything about Eric in last season's standings. I could have just missed it with my naked eye. But Eric, he's got that KBR logo on, and like I talked about in the previous races, whenever a guy's got, you know, the racing team's name, the gamer tags, I'm always a bit like, you know, thinking that these guys are always going to be, you know, top drivers. I think as the race progresses now, you'll see in the video, he is indeed one. So well done to Eric here in this race. We'll take a look at Eric again. Andries. Yeah, Andries was also flew a bit under the radar as the race progressed, and likely, as you can see, the guy's got that plain blue livery, and just shows you how hidden this guy likes to keep things. I never heard much about Andries in the chat. I actually only realized once I watched this replay back that there was actually a guy called Andries racing in our race, so kept it a bit discreet. But again, also another deadly driver. Last season he finished 49th, so someone to keep your eye on in this race, and you'll actually see if he sits about in the top 3, top 4, you know, top 6 of this race for most of the race. So also a driver that I didn't know much about, but very apparent that you need to keep your eye on while the race proceeds. Now Chixa, another guy I couldn't see position standing for last season, but during the warm-ups for this race, Chixa was putting up the fastest lap times in the warm-up races. So I always had my eye on him. As you can see, he is placed 6th position in his qualifying. So yeah, I mean, yeah, just speaks for itself. You've got strong drivers like DC, Trosk, Sandshark behind him. It just shows you that Chixa definitely has the pace, rocking that yellow livery again, and riding the 911 like most of the guys inside the race. Now my man Lee Racing, guy came up with me from pool 6, and he was with me at pool 6 from the start. So Lee, we don't have to talk about. Sorry Lee, I'm gonna skip over you, but please man, I hope you have a good race and good season in season 5. Googly as well. Quickly talk about Googly. Googly also came up from pool number 7 into pool 6, hopped out of pool 6 like it was a hot potato, and back into pool 5 where he's most likely belongs. You also see how things unfold with Googly throughout the race. Googly is also driving today with the Maserati, which is also like a little bit of a left field choice for this race. But I mean, the guy shows us what it can do in this race. So it's interesting to see how this race unfolds with that Maserati. Next one we are up is C8's Blitzvinning. Now, I'm not saying that's a Blitzvinnig, sorry, C8's Blitzvinnig. I only recently found out that C8 stands for Crazy 8s. So another gamer clan or a driving clan, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know, I'm new to GT Sport SA, I don't know what you call them. But he's also racing for them, and indeed a damn fast driver, as his name suggests. Last season he finished 55th, so he was always going to be one to keep your eye on. Now, Benny the Bookworm and Musa, excellent names. I couldn't actually find anything from Benny the Bookworm for last season. Musa, however, finished 86, but in this race you'll notice that there is such a far statement from how his driving actually happened today. So we'll take a look at how the guys have done for this race as it unfolds, but that's the starting grid, and those are the guys for this particular race. Sorry about the long introduction. I like to do this just before the race starts if I'm in a new pool and there's new guys here, so hopefully the race starts and you guys can enjoy it from there.